Several months after the holding of the major national dialogue in Cameroon, the implementation of the resolutions are well on track. As the committee charged with ensuring that these resolutions are implemented stop up work, this newscast revisits the resolutions. The Interministerial Commission dispatched to the far north region by the head of state to evaluate the effects of floods in the region have visited the dike of Logon, a part which made way causing floods. And as life returns to normal in the locality of Ouazzar in the far north region, thanks to Cameroon's defense and security officials, the beauty of the Ouazzar Park blossoms, attracting tourists from home and out of Cameroon. I am Benin Bumagana. This is the 7:30 news.
Each of us must comply with the measures that have been taken.
And as we begin, Cameroon is evaluating the implementation of the resolutions of the major national dialogue close to a year since its holding. The key resolutions, including the granting of a special status to the northwest and southwest regions, equal use of French and English, and the reinforcement of the autonomy of decentralized units, are reportedly on a good track. With respect to their implementation, Charles Ebune comes back on these resolutions, which were meant to ease tensions in the northwest and the southwest regions.
About 600 people thronged the Yaoundé Conference Center almost a year ago to attend one of the nation's most salient moments since independence and reunification, the major national dialogue. Out of the 8 commissions emerged the reconstruction plan for the northwest and southwest regions, estimated at about 90 billion CFA francs.
The President of the Republic in a tweet wrote, and I quote, "Your rich and diverse contributions during the major national dialogue were very useful."
To bring the administration closer to the people, as requested, the government abolished the government delegate post, elected city mayors with the materialization of the decentralization code.
I can assure you that all of them will be considered attentively and diligently with a view to implementing them, taking into account their relevance and feasibility, as well as the capacity of our country.
Today, the enacted law on official languages and the bilingualism check of the Commission on it keeps egalitarianism at the forefront of government action. All the aforementioned details and others to come are the byproducts of the major national dialogue.
Members of the Interministerial Mission on a walking visit to the far north region have been briefed that the execution rate of construction works on the Marwa-Bogo Road stands at 84%. The Interministerial Mission, led by the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji, visited a portion of the dike of the Logon that has made way, causing floods in the region. We'll be getting more of this story in our subsequent newscasts. Stakeholders of the cocoa sector have proposed the upgrading of the Cameroonian label and the payment of the decent income differential as ways through which local cocoa producers can earn more from their activity. This was at the center of discussions with Trade Minister Luc Magloire-Mbarga-Tangana in prelude to the launch of the 2020-2021 cocoa season. Clarice Aretakan reports.
A kilogram of Cameroonian cocoa on the world market is sold at 100 CFA francs, less than that from other countries, a discount imposed due to quality concerns. Stakeholders of the sector are proposing the payment of the decent income differential and tax relief for cocoa exporters as some ways of making producers earn more.
We are able to supply the market The second aspect is naturally the quality of our cocoa beans. So we think that you have to receive premium.
The need to copy best practices, which will guarantee more professionalism in cocoa production and processing techniques, were equally stressed.
We're trying to densify the plant in the plantation, and about the quality, we are trying to help them to harmonize the red color of our cocoa.
Discussions come ahead of the launch of the 2020-2021 cocoa season.
Over 3 years after the implementation of the CEMAC Economic and Financial Reforms Program, CEMAC, the program is said to be yielding fruits, with an overall score of 63.3% in 2019, up from 44.8% in 2018. This increase is thanks to the overall improvement of the economies of the sub-region. Caroline Okie-Anoma says CEMAC's 2020 perspectives are far more ambitious, with the community recovery plan to support individual actions of member states. Here is our report.
CEMAC's outstanding actions to be carried out in 2020 and 2021 accounts for 38.6% of an overall average of 19.3% of efforts to be made in each of the above-mentioned years, giving it an overall satisfactory result regarding the economic and financial reforms undertaken by the member states, with, of course, the support of technical and financial partners. It is within this dynamic that a community plan for the recovery of CEMAC.
The new MTN CEO, Stephen Blewett, has been in the country since August 1, a one-month stay enough to study the business climate in the telecommunications sector and know the task that awaits him, a task that can only be achieved by meeting the right people. His first stop is at the Presidency of the Republic of Cameroon to present himself to government, then to the Telecommunications Regulatory Agency to discuss on questions that preoccupy Cameroonian consumers.
A lot of discussion was around what are we as MTN going to do and what am I going to do as a new CEO to bring the company forward. And a part of that for me is listening to the officials that I've met with today, just hearing and understanding, and then listening to our customers and the people out there. And then we have to respond quickly to give people the best possible service and the best possible products.
And then at the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications for a tete-a-tete with the telecommunications boss. Their discussion is on how to develop the digital economy. The MTN CEO also paid a courtesy call to the CRTV. The CEO and the CRTV management revisited existing contracts and possibilities of renewal, especially with the Shan and Kan in view. Two major competitions that MTN and CRTV can use to make gains.
We do collaborate with MTN through advertising. The streaming, the TV channel of CRT are on streaming on the MTN application in terms of developing in the data internet through between CRTV and MTN. We do expect some interesting return on investment.
According to a 2020 report, MTN Cameroon in 2019 made a turnover of 218.7 billion CFA francs in Cameroon.
Sons and daughters of Sawa origin today staged a peaceful protest in the streets of Douala to oppose the signing of a prefectural order naming a quarter head for Beseke in Bonasama. They say it is their right to choose their leaders and not an issue for the local authorities to meddle with. Dixon Ashu reports that they handed a signed petition to the divisional officer of Douala 4 presenting their request.
The peaceful protest march went as planned in spite the early downpour. Over 500 of Sawa origin dressed in black traditional regalia marched along popular streets in Bonasama and later converged on the Douala 4 divisional officer's premises. They wish to inform the authorities they are not happy with the prefectural order naming a certain Tamko Amidu to head the Beseke quarter, and to that he is ranked a third-class chief, just like the traditional ruler of Bonasama.
Whoever comes from abroad comes as a stranger. Not only have they proclaimed themselves sons of the land, but they want to command.
They have termed it an infringement on their cultural values and a threat to peaceful coexistence, which has always been a true identity of the Sawa people.
Let's be just. And the sons of Bonasama today have decided to let it known to the authorities that a village is a village.
They handed a jointly signed petition to the Divisional Office of Douala 4, who has promised to take it to appropriate quarters.
The wearing of face masks in public places will be mandatory until further notice.
Let's talk about the fight against COVID-19. Public health experts are encouraging Cameroonians to make use of the free mobile testing campaign going on in the different regions of the country to know their COVID status. We now go over to the Public Health Emergency Center where Baldwin Sama is standing by. Good evening, Baldwin. You were telling me that health experts have been appreciative of the key role played by partners of the Ministry of Public Health in the fight against coronavirus. Baldwin?
Good evening and welcome. Government's response strategy against the fight of COVID-19 for the last 6 months has been successful, especially due to the frank collaboration that the government of Cameroon has had with her external partners who have been these external partners that have not relented their efforts to play a key role helping the governments to succeed in as much as limiting the spread of COVID-19 in the country is concerned. Some of the partners could be cited such as the World Health Organization, the European Union, or Doctors Without Borders, who each of these organizations in the different regions of the country, they have had their impact felt. And one of the regions that cannot deny having had the impact felt, talking about the role of some of these partners, happens to be the Northwest region of Cameroon, where the Northwest Regional Delegate of Public Health recently was citing the enormous efforts or contributions from some of these partners. It doesn't just end at making available some anti-COVID-19 sanitary kits to limit the spread of this deadly virus, but most of them have gone as far as equally making available some drugs that have been taken by these COVID-19 patients in the different regions of the country, not only in the northwest or southwest regions of the country, but in the 8 other regions of Cameroon. And that is why the Minister for Public Health on several occasions during his traditional press briefings have been citing the key role played by these partners, and the ministry alongside these partners, they have decided to work hand in glove in the months ahead, just as it has been the case for the last 6 months, to continue finding the right strategy, I should say the right modus operandi that will permit the government of Cameroon, just as it has done so far, to eradicate or to effectively put an end to the spread of this virus. The faithful or the fruitful relationship between the government of Cameroon and the partners in the fight against COVID-19 remains that which must be emulated by others. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Baldwin Sama von Kamer. Christians in Bafia Thursday offered a memorial mass for the late Bishop of Bafia, Atanas Bala, who passed on to glory 1 year ago. The mass was said by the present Bishop of the Bafia Diocese, Monsignor Emmanuel Dasi Yufang. Ewane Epole attended the service and brought back this report.
3rd September 2019, 3rd September 2020 makes 1 year since Monsignor Atanas Bala left this world.
For this day of remembrance, we just need to have a moment of tribute and recollection.
Officiating at the Holy Mass in his memory this Thursday at the St. Sebastian Parish, the Bishop of Bafia Catholic Diocese, Monsignor Emmanuel Dasi Yufang, revisited the life of priesthood of the Bishop Emeritus of Bafia, Atanas Bala, who died at the age of 92.
People cannot forget him. Since I came here, I have listened from many people about him. It is the true testimony that he was a man of faith.
According to the bishop, the prelate led the people of God in the Bafia diocese from 1977 to 2003, when he was replaced by Bishop Jean-Marie Benoit Bala, who passed into glory in 2017. Late Bishop Athanas Bala was Dean of Cameroon's bishops. He remains in the hearts of Christians of the Bafia diocese as a faithful spiritual leader of the Roman Catholic Church.
Let's take a while now and talk about the beauty of some parts of Cameroon. The charming locality of Ouaza in the far north region is once again wooing tourists following the return to normalcy thanks to the presence of defense and security forces in the zone. Local administrative and municipal authorities have been encouraging visitors to the Ouaza Park, which harbors rare wildlife species enveloped in an enticing landscape. Our far north regional correspondent Ayuk John Ashu made a trip to Ouaza and filed in the following report.
Gateway into Logon and Shari division of the Far North region, Ouaza has gained worldwide prominence because of its national park, home to rare species like the giraffe, elephants, and elegant primates. Though the influx of tourists, visitors, and sport hunters has been affected in the recent past by security challenges, local authorities are bent on maintaining Ouaza as a flagship tourist destination with the gradual return to normalcy.
We have adequate infrastructure to lodge the visitors.
The Ouaza Council is spearheading the cause to capitalize on this invaluable asset, nature's gift.
Security is guaranteed. There is a base for the military here in the park. Tourists are invited to Ouaza.
Everybody in Cameroon, in Africa, they can come to Ouaza to discover the natural park, animals, and we have a good ecosystem forest. We have also touristic buildings.
The tapestry of wildlife, enchanting scenery, and welcoming people keep beckoning tourists to the irresistible Ouaza.
Before we go, let's see what's in our cultural rendezvous for the weekend. Grace and Ben Deka will be thrilling fans to some of their hits this evening in a live show in Yaoundé and in Bamenda in the northwest region. The Cameroonian film Blind Mission will be premiered this Sunday. These and more in this report by Joyce Tata.
Cameroon's iconic Grace and Ben Deka invite you this Friday at the Sanda nightclub in Yaoundé. Make sure your dancing shoes are not off, because Dynasty Lotique will be presenting a new hit titled Colonisé this day to fans and music lovers. Saturday as from 7 p.m. Cameroon time, make it a rendezvous for the Kmer Swag Talk Show with guest stars Awu Tila Tafari and Otiasu Vitalis at Nikita Hotel, Carrefour BMC.
So soon.
Wrap up your weekend in cinema. The Abakwa Town Bamenda will host the movie premiere of the Cameroonian film Blind Mission as from 2 p.m. Hooray! C'est le weekend. No matter how cheap you may consider.
That report brings us to the end of this edition of the 7:30 News. Another newscast will be yours at midnight. I've been Benen Bumagana. Thanks for watching.
In this connection, we should avoid stigmatizing